The office of French President Emmanuel Macron says he will be holding another emergency government meeting later on Friday. This comes as riots have continued across the country for a third night. Despite restrictions imposed in some cities, protesters took to the streets again, burning cars and vandalizing buildings. Nearly 700 people have been arrested. The unrest began after police shot a teenager at a traffic stop earlier this week.
France's elite police units roll in. But the violence continues. Masked demonstrators confront riot police. An outpouring of anger in Nanterre, the Paris suburb where a teenager was shot dead by police during a traffic stop. The police respond with tear gas. North of Paris, communities woke up to burnt-out schools and damaged government buildings after previous nights of clashes. Acts that France's President Emmanuel Macron called absolutely unjustifiable during a government meeting on Wednesday. But he refused to bow to demands by right-wing politicians to impose a state of emergency. Thousands of people joined the march to remember the 17-year-old Naël M and called for justice for his killing. The rally was led by his mother. For many activists and members of ethnic minority communities across France, the real problem is harsh policing tactics. I trust the police for many things, but there's an increase in the number of deaths for no good reason, and that shouldn't happen. We deserve to be safe in our country. We pay our taxes. We have a right to be here. You can't just kill someone for no reason. Racism within the police kills, and way too many of them embrace far-right ideas, so this has to stop. After another night of anger leaves neighbourhoods destroyed, many in France are asking what can be done to stop the unrest and tackle the alleged systemic racism in the police force.
DW's Lucia Schulten is in Paris covering this story. Lucia, another night of violence across France despite the deployment of 40,000 police officers. Is there a sense that these riots are getting out of control?
Yeah, you could actually say that this night has been even worse than what we have seen the nights before, and there have been attacks also on stores, and observers say that this might be because the schools and police stations have been better protected, but then the people took their anger against stores. Also, I saw images of a bus depot where 12 buses have been burned down, so the images that come from all over France, not only the Paris suburbs anymore, are very impressive. They show a big scale of destruction, and also this night the destruction also took it into Paris, and there have been stores destroyed here. So it is certainly an unseen violence right now.
Aside from strengthening police presence on the streets, what is President Emmanuel Macron doing to handle this crisis?
Yeah, Emmanuel Macron is going to preside over a meeting today at 1 o'clock. There's still one big option on the table, which is calling out a so-called state of emergency. Observers have been saying that this might be an option. It has already been introduced in 2005 when there have been other very big unrests, and the state of emergency would limit certain civil rights of people. It would give quite some more powers to the police, but as of now, this is only being discussed. What has already happened was here in Paris suburbs, there has been a night curfew. This curfew is also going on in one of the suburbs until Monday. So this is one of the tools in the box, so to say. There are still options, but of course they will have to sit together and think about what to do against this rage.
What's the latest on the investigation into the officer, Lucia, who shot that 17-year-old boy?
Yeah, the officer is in pre-trial detention. This is a provisional pre-trial detention. His lawyer was yesterday speaking in the French television. He said that the officer was sorry, but the lawyer also said that he would appeal against this provisional pre-trial detention, claiming that he was acting legally, while the prosecutor said that he does not see that the legal conditions for using a firearm have been met. This is the beginning of proceedings, so right now there is an investigation going on, and the investigation is going on for voluntary homicide.
Lucia, thank you very much for that update. That was our correspondent Lucia Schulten in Paris.